Susan Hamilton, CEO OffBeat Business Media, talks about Fort Worth event, August 30th to 31st. For first responders and community on Rise Up Radio with Tom Chesser. Susan Hamilton was Tom Chesser's featured guest on Rise Up Radio talking about faster response training, recovery training, and community support for first responders event on August 30th to 31st at the Birchman Baptist Church in Fort Worth, Texas. Susan Hamilton, founder and CEO of OffBeat Business Media, is the community liaison for local business support and media coverage as Blue Dragon International consultants lead the charge for faster response to massacres at schools and churches, offering high-level training for police and firefighters in tactical approaches, and better recovery post-trauma. Their call letters, OBBM, are new on the scene but expected to infiltrate localities across the nation over the next 2 years. Expect to see OBBM in the dashboard of your car next to iHeartRadio and Sirius XM soon. Hamilton smiles as she predicts the future of OffBeat Business Media. Susan and the team at OBBM are meeting the needs of the local family business through talk media directed at their cause, and education is the best way to train this market to find resources they can use immediately to improve their cash flow and profitability. Susan contends, "It's all a matter of making this vital connection between our families, businesses, and communities. It's easier through the internet, TV, radio, podcast, and magazine media they enjoy. This perspective makes OBBM a perfect match for BTIC, who want to improve the recently negative views many communities have of their police departments over the last few years. Escalated violence in our communities coupled with increased scrutiny over officer behavior makes this a particularly vulnerable time for our schools, churches, and public venues. If we don't support our officers with the right training and comprehensive post-trauma recovery methods, we are adding to the storm." The OBBM team are passionate about the mission, according to BTIC co-founder, Paul Vick. They're professional, focused on the client's end objective, enthusiastic, with a dedicated staff and first-rate studio. OBBM is a very professional source for the truth. Getting the word out there on relevant issues and how to combat adversity in these days is critical. Susan Hamilton and her team do a great job of that every day, chimes in brother and BTIC co-founder, Dale Vick. "I've been a neighbor and friend to officers and firefighters many times in my life," recalls Susan. "I remember sitting with a firefighter's wife while she drank wine and prayed, knowing her husband was on a close call because she listened to the scanner. I've known firsthand how officers return home after a night of threatening calls. They act like it's nothing at all, but I know their wives." Dick speaks candidly about things I've seen, but their experience of events goes well beyond anything I could imagine dealing with. Still, they are rock solid and devoted to their families and communities, and I believe it has everything to do with their recognition that they not go through these traumas in isolation, but with support and faith. "With my own eyes, I've seen officers respond to violent drug calls and need to subdue and control situations that I or others could not. It's a horrifying thing not to be sure an officer will treat someone behaving violently with caution. In our nation, people of color are concerned that skin color alone can escalate their vulnerability. We have language barriers and mental health issues. People who look like they are on drugs when they may only have a disability. In the words of the captain in Cool Hand Luke, what we have here is a failure to communicate. BTIC understand this well and speak to quick, effective resolution coupled with restorative family and community measures for our front lines, in whatever capacity they serve. Working together ensures the best possible outcome. Video link. Training and insight through the Blue Dragon Presence series begin on August 30th to 31st at 9100 North Normandale Street in Fort Worth, Texas at 8 a.m. First responders are encouraged to attend with their spouses who can get in free with their paid registration. Also, local and national businesses can support officers, firefighters or entire units when they purchase their tickets at BTIC.net. While independent school districts, city councils, pastors, security details, and the general public are invited to attend, children are discouraged from participating due to the nature of the topics covered in this two-day event. Speakers include Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, Tom Ziegler, Retired Sergeant Richard Morris, Sheriff Bill E. Wayborn, Garland Police Officer Greg Stevens, Stop 2 Armed ISIS-inspired terrorists from committing mass murder, Colonel James Frawley, Attorney Mark S. Jones, and former FBI Special Agent Paul Vick. Susan Hamilton will MC the event, and OffBeat Business Media is covering the presentations and interviews. Post credit is available. Go to bdic.net to registration to attend this event. All vendor and media inquiries should be directed to OffBeat Business Media at Susan@offbeatbusiness.com for details. To hear the full interview, please visit